We're at the IAS in Amsterdam. We're here with Natalia from the Eurasian Harm Reduction Association. And we met you at the Global Village, and we were seeing the work. People were really passionate in your booth about harm reduction and about the issues that you're facing and the stigmas and all that. The project that you're involved with, that you're actually, let me get you do the background on your organization so that we know who you are and actually what you do specifically.
Sure. My organization where I'm working with is Eurasian Harm Reduction Association. This is the regional network of community organizations which are engaged, NGOs and community organizations which are engaged into the harm reduction service provisions and direct services and advocacy work. I'm with the organization as the government relations advisor and the organizer of different events. But here I am in a bit different capacity. I'm the coordinator of the regional campaign, which is called Chase the Virus, Not People. And I have to say that this is quite a unique situation right now at this conference. What is happening is the following, that the key regional networks of communities representing people who use drugs, people living with HIV, women living with HIV, sex workers, teenagers, MSM and trans people were all united in one campaign and moving this action together because of the one and the only thing that our region is on fire. Our region, the region of Eastern Europe and Central Asia, is the only region in the world with the fastest growing rates of HIV. Since 2010, we have the increase in 57% annually of new HIV cases. We have the increase in mortality related to HIV and AIDS, which is 38%. And we are far, far below the goals, 90-90-90. So we are very far. So if we look at each of the figures, in our region it is 68, 28, 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the geographically, what are the cities or countries that you chase the virus, not the people?
So ideally, we would love to cover by our actions and by the campaign 29 countries of our region, which is Central, Southern, and Eastern Europe and Central Asia. This is the region of former USSR states. This is the region of the Baltic states. And this is the region of the former social camp in Europe.
So do you find that the virus is mostly in the urban settings, or is it everywhere?
So the virus is spread through the communities. So we have key communities, the communities which I already enumerated.
Right.
So the HIV spread is wide in these communities. That's why we are so worried, because our voice is not heard, we are underfunded, the services for us are underfunded, they are not sustainable. So if the problem in these countries would be solved, and the prevention measures for these communities in particular, then the problem will be solved.
So when you say you're like a government liaison or government relations person, where does the money come from to do this campaign, to print the papers and to put the posters and all the things that you do to get the word out?
Yeah, so this campaign is a joint one, but we do appreciate the input into this campaign of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands. We also appreciate the support from FU International, from Open Societies Foundation, and from Robert Carr Fund.
But not much from the government?
No, not a penny.
Not a penny.
No.
So how do you justify that? I mean, it just seems crazy that the government will allow this to go on, because it is diminishing the infrastructure of the country. I mean, the people who are supposed to be working are now not working. They're sick. It doesn't make sense. Do they not see how other countries did this, and that it made more sense to have people healthy or living healthier?
It's quite a rhetorical question, for our country. So different. So the region is very different. So these 29 countries, they are all different, because there is Russia, and actually all this growth in HIV happens in majority of cases just because of Russia. And the influence of Russia on the policies of the neighboring countries.
Yes.
This is one factor. Second factor is on the east, where some countries which are entering the European Union or are already there, but they are not very strong economically. That's why they try to solve their some other problems in the first turn, and they still got used to the fact that they were supported by the Global Fund money, by USAID, by PEPFAR, by some other donors. And why the moment is now very critical? Because of the fact that it's the transition time from the international support to national funding. Because Global Fund is leaving our countries. There is the transition stage, because according to the rules and criteria of the Global Fund, the countries which are in the classification of the World Bank are with the low GDP, low GDP. And in our region, almost all countries already in the upper stage, which means they no longer will have an access to Global Fund funding.
They're not in even middle-income countries?
There are some different cases where the funding is still available. For example, right now, the Global Fund is issuing the multi-country grants and projects, which are very interesting from the perspective to find something, what is in general, what the problems cover the whole region, and try to solve the problems through the regional perspective, which is quite a useful approach. So, and we're afraid that in this transition time, when the governments will have to take the responsibility on their budgets, they, in some cases, are not able to have a very balanced approach, because in their thinking, the more they spend on ARBs, the better. So they're covering the issue. But as you said, that the right government thinks about the future. They think, how much should I spend now in order not to spend more in the future? The programs for the communities, harm reduction programs, programs for sex workers, programs for MSM and trans people, they don't cost a lot. You can stop HIV from the spread out of these groups. But I don't know why our governments don't listen to us, don't hear us, and don't sometimes even want to take care of the communities and most affected populations.
This must be quite a warm moment for you, where you can have, at least cathartically, get your message out and speak to people who are in some cases unaware of the challenges you face, and the numbers and the demographics and the epidemiology and so forth. And the pathogenesis of the disease is all allowing to go unchecked. So it's a drama that's unfolding that doesn't really need to. I really hope for the organization, the campaign, to actually work and do so. Obviously, it's doing some good, but it's got to get to the levels of where we're now no longer seeing the rise, but rather decline. And it would be, in my mind, so easy to show a decline if people would understand that we need to get people into treatment, get the people tested, get people into treatment, and get them into the, like you said, the 90-90-90 scenario. Well, I appreciate very much you taking the time with us.
Thank you.
And I hope for the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely, I really do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.